and pop over to Jen's presentation here. Okay, so tonight's team call, this is the announcement slides and shout outs from Jen. First of all, oh, you know what? Hang on a second. I can't hear you guys when I'm in that view. I'm going to just keep it in this view. Is that cool? Give me a thumbs up if that's cool. Cool. Great. Okay. Super Saturday's coming up at the end of the month, October 29th. And I know that I would just love to see a show of hands, like planning to be there, or, you know, throw in a comment in chat and let us know. If you've not been into a Super Saturday yet, please join in and go. It's so much fun. I've been to the Kansas City one a couple of times, and am really excited to see that one closer to me this October 29th is coming. So I don't know if I'm going to go to the Kansas City one or the one closest to me, but I hope that you go and enjoy yourself, and lots of posts about that. Okay, updates for this month's Success Club qualifying, an invitation to the Personal Development Webcast. That's a big deal right there. So we're all fighting for it. I know I was so disappointed not to hit SC last month, but I'm going for SC 10 this month. Hope you guys are chugging along towards your goal. This is pretty cool. Do read about the, if you're one of the top 10 Challenge Pack sellers in October, you win an exclusive Beachbody On-Demand branded Apple Watch. And I'm an Apple device gal, so hoping that that's something that happened for me. All right. Oh, Tara, could you please start recording? I think
I did
Tara's
already.
Recording. Okay, she's doing it. It's recording. Thanks a lot, Tanya. I appreciate it. So challenge packs that are on sale this month, we're continuing with the big popular ones: Country Heat, 21-Day Fix, Fix Extreme, 22-Minute Hardcore, Size, PIO, and 3-Day Refresh. So take advantage of those. I know that Jen had a really cool graphic when she first sent me this PowerPoint. I don't know why the graphic for MMA speed didn't make it. So sorry about that, Jen, when you watch the replay of this. But how many of you guys did do the Court of Force preview? I saw a few posts about it. It was great, wasn't it? I got so sweaty, and it took me back to Billy Blank's Tie Boat back in the 90s. I had so much fun with that way back when. And so, you know, keep talking about this. I know that Jen's starting a 21-day group about this with this program. So have a great time. I'm trying to find where I can see the chat. Okay. Cool, now I can see everybody's chat. Can you all see that group chat on your screen too? Is that coming up on your screen? Okay, I'm gonna pop out of that then. Okay, so get going. The program launches officially October 31st. And if you haven't done the MMA speed today, do it. It is worthwhile. I mean, your heart's gonna get pounded and you're gonna get a heck of a workout, but it's fantastic. So do that. All right, shout out time. We've got so much that happened in September. I had such a good time watching the thread in the team Facebook page as September was coming to a close. So way to go, you guys. I got SC10, Amy, Caitlin, Nina, Michelle, Nicole, Tina, Allison, Tanya, Michelle, Curl, and Alicia, and Robin. And all you guys that locked in that SC5, fantastic work. So many of you. And a bunch of us were really, really close right there, fighting to the end. So we'll keep going in October. Speaking of October, look at this list of us that have SC points already for October. It's what, the 3rd today? So way to go to you guys. Already locking in those SC points. I'm so excited to see such a healthy list. and we'll keep on going. Thanks. Okay, so huge shout out right here. Allie Davis. 2 of her family members have been dealing with weight issues for years and have been living without carbs with little results. I know I did that for a very long time and really messed up my nutrition life. Now check this out. After only 37 days on the 21-day fix, one of them has lost over 20 pounds. She's now over 40 pounds down and says she'll be reaching her goal weight in less than a year at this rate. An other family member has had a hard time giving up some things, but went in for testing last week, and she's back to pre-diabetes. And the doctor said that if she keeps it up, she'll be off meds, all meds, in no time. So they showed the doctor the 21-day fix program. She absolutely raved over us. Shout out, Allie. Way to go. Way to kill it. That's fantastic. Congrats, congrats, congrats. Also, Lori finished 21-day fix extreme yesterday. Oh, man. Way to go. And Marcy finished 21-day fix and lost 15 pounds and over 10 inches. Love seeing those results. I know that we are all excited for each other when we see results like that. Yeah? Very cool. Okay. I'm going to go on here, and I think this leads it back to me. I'm going to check in on the chat real quick. How's everybody doing? Okay, good. All right. Here, I'm going to switch now to my little presentation for tonight. Does anybody have any questions about Jen's opening announcements before I head on to my part of the talk? No? Okay. Hi, Nicole. Good to see you guys. All right. So here I go. Close this off here. So for those of you that don't know, I'm married. My husband and I celebrated our 21st wedding anniversary this past August. And we have 2 sons, a 13-year-old and an 11-year-old. My 13-year-old is on the autism spectrum, and that sometimes makes our life incredibly exciting and other times makes our life incredibly difficult, just like with anything else. But we are professors, both of us, at Pittsburgh State University in Southeast Kansas. And I am obviously a Beachbody coach. And I've also become, in the last year and a half, a group fitness instructor at one of our local wellness centers here. So I teach Pilates there. I was a Size Live instructor. I've had to put that on the shelf for just a little bit, but I'm excited to get back to teaching Size Live because I miss it. I found this great Les Brown quote, "No one rises to low expectation." And I wanted to use that as the title for my talk tonight because I had, prior to coming in to Beachbody and this FitFam, I had very, very low expectations for myself as far as my health and nutrition, and actually literally hit rock bottom emotionally, personally, academically, on so many levels, back in, right around the early summer of 2014. By October of 2014, I had been following Jenny Beauregard on Facebook and seeing her posts about 21-day fix and her transformation, and joined a free challenge group with her in October. And in the middle of that month, everything just went for me and completely fell apart. And I had one of those nights where I just had to make that decision. I'm either going to continue feeling like the victim, or I'm going to do something about it. So I did something about it, and I ordered my challenge pack and was set up to be a discount coach, and was adamant that I was not going to do coaching as a business. I was just going to drink my shake. I fell in love with Shakeology day one. I had success with 21-day fix in the first week, started losing weight right away. Loved it. And by early December, Jen Greenberg was calling me saying, hey, you're picking up a lot of followers. You're really sharing your story beautifully online. You're already doing this coaching thing. Let's talk about, you becoming a coach and opening up your business. And I was like, no way, not until after the school semester is done. I'm too busy. April is too crazy in my department and with my family. I can't, maybe May 2015. Well, by the middle of February of 2015, I opened up my business and started coaching, and had a really fun ride at the very beginning. Here's a little side by side of where I started back in 2014, and after 3 rounds of 21-day fix and 1 round of 21-day fix extreme, this is where I was last April of 2015. So I became a Beachbody Challenge winner early in the summer of 2015 and won those first $500. And then during Summit, and those of you that were in that incredible car ride from Summit to the hotel, that one day is when I got the email that I was the $1,000 Beachbody Health Challenge winner. So that was pretty fun. I had hit Emerald status within my first 2 months of coaching, and had a plan in place to be a Diamond by Summit, and hit that goal. Went to Summit, loved it, and then came home from Summit and plummeted without a goal. I did not have my new list of outcomes and things. Thank you, you guys. All of your sweet comments. I'm just kind of catching up on your sweet comments in the chat. I came home from Summit and was goalless, and really started struggling and just kind of keeping it together piece by piece. And by the middle of this summer, I was absolutely just committed to rebuilding my team, rebuilding my business, and really doing it with not just kind of going, oh my gosh, this is fun, eyes closed, eyes wide shut, but really feeling like, okay, I know what I'm doing. Here we go. And I'm in it for the long haul, not just for the fast parts. So tonight's talk then has to do with what I did to start bringing me out of my slump as far as being without a goal. Last February, when I was getting ready to do the 21-day fix extreme starting in late March and early April, a group from FitFam had put together a little challenge group to go through the Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. I did the Miracle Morning for 30 days back last April 2015 while I was doing 21-day fix extreme. And if you'll remember from my introduction where I was telling Jen the year before, like, I can't be a coach in April because my semester is at its high crazy point and my life is at its high crazy point. So in April last year, I did 21-day fix extreme and the Miracle Morning every single day. And it was fantastic. And that's part of what got me to Diamond by Summit. And I am convinced that one of the reasons why I fell apart after all that is because I stopped reviewing and committing myself to my outcomes that I had earlier, and I lost track of my goals. So I came back to the Miracle Morning TMM, the Miracle Morning Affirmations, the night that I was supposed to have been going to Summit this past summer. About a week before Summit started, I had to make the tough decision of not attending because of some family issues with my aging parent moving into a nursing home and other stuff. And the night that was supposed to be my night before getting in the car and driving to Nashville, I suffered from a bout of insomnia that night and could not fall asleep. I was doing all the strategies I knew to do and was up. And by about like 2:45 in the morning or so, I just thought, oh, that's it. I'm turning on the light. I'm going to do some of my miracle morning things and just give it lots of time. And if I fall asleep, I fall asleep. Otherwise, I'm up for the day. And so the very first thing, if you've never done the miracle morning, he has, Hal Elrod has these 5 steps that you do called savers. So you do silence, which is like meditation, affirmations, visualization, exercise, R is reading, and then the final S is scribing, like journaling. Well, the first S of the savers, silence, is meditation. And because I usually use meditation to fall asleep if I'm ever struggling, I had already been meditating for about 45 minutes and not being able to calm my brain down. So I went on to affirmations. And by this point, it was like 3-something in the morning. And I thought, well, gosh, I don't even remember really what to do for the affirmations. And so I picked up my phone and I Googled Hal Elrod affirmations, and I came across this podcast that you see here, podcast 43, and listened to it. It's about a 25-minute interview that Hal Elrod does with a radio show buddy. And the main topic is how to design your own daily affirmation. And this was a podcast that was recorded in mid-2014. And I hadn't come across it when I was first doing the Miracle Morning. He actually promotes his newly published edition of the Miracle Morning for real estate agents during that podcast, and mentions during the introduction that he's redesigned the information on how to create your own daily affirmation, and that this was going to be outlined during this podcast. So in about the 11th minute of the podcast, he takes you step by step on how to create your own daily affirmation. And then he breaks down how that can be utilized. So I'm going to be talking about that in my own way today. And this slideshow here, I can make available to you. It does have direct links right to this podcast. While I was working on this information from Hal here, I remembered the information that I'd gotten from when I did Chalene Johnson's 30-day push program the summer before. So I was reviewing my notes. I have one of those passion planners. I know several of you have different planners and journals and whatnot. I use the passion planner, and I had the whole list of push program goals and outcomes that I had written from when I had done that, and had remembered that. And so I actually started outlining my outcomes for this exercise in the middle of that one night, and very quickly identified my pushed goal, which was really exciting when I saw that come together. And then the last thing that he has you do, which I'll discuss here in just a second in greater detail, is write a 90-day letter to yourself so that you can have a clear vision as to where you're going, so your affirmation can be leading you in the direction of your ideal outcomes. Because I kind of do this with everything in my life, you put a recipe in my hand, I use the recipe as basically a skeletal outline, and I'll do my own thing with it. Instead of doing the 90-day letter to myself that night, I did an assignment from a Darren Hardy daily personal development email text deal that I had been intending to do. And that's what got me to my affirmation. So let me show you what happened. All right. I'm going to open up this in presentation mode here so that you can see my handwriting, my scribbles. Okay, so for me, my outcomes is what I wrote first. And I had written that I want to find my center. positivity, so that I can be happy, consistent, so that I can enjoy getting organized, meaning putting systems in place, so that I can live my best life, support my family, and thrive as an adult. These were my outcomes that I came up with in the middle of that night. By this point, it was about 4 something. And when I underlined each of these here, I started realizing that support my family financially is my push goal. If I can get to the point where I'm doing that, I am living my best life, and I am thriving in mind, body, spirit, and everything. These comments that I made off to the side happened a little bit later, once I did the next step of the process for myself. What I did next then was, instead of doing the write a letter to yourself for in the next 90 days, I did the Darren Hardy assignment of, what do you want someone to say at your eulogy? Have you guys seen this assignment from Darren Hardy? Any of you that do the Darren Daily, where he asks you to consider, what is it when somebody stands up there at the end of your life and says about you, what do you want it said? And Darren Hardy's whole idea behind this exercise is, if you're not taking little steps towards that primary goal, how are you going to get to that goal where somebody says that about you? And it's taken me a while to get to the point where I can articulate what it would be that I would want said at my eulogy. And that night, in the middle of the night, I was able to articulate it. And I said, here's what I would like for it to be said about me. She knew who she was, and she helped others to understand their own inner selves. That's become really important to me, from the point of view that if you use that analogy of the, when they say when you're in an airplane, secure your oxygen mask first so that you can help others to place theirs on. That analogy has always been really resonant with me, and I realized in the middle of that night when I was working on these outcomes that that's what I want to be remembered for. Like, at this point in my life, I'm 46 years old. I've been working really hard for everybody all around me, always, and I've put myself last. And I'm so grateful for this company, for this team, for these programs that have reminded me, secure my mask on so that I can have the strength and the emotional fortitude and the ability to give to those around me and help them to be better. Once I came up with that statement and reviewed my outcomes, I knew that I wanted to find my center first. I wrote these outcomes kind of chronological order. If I could get back to being positive all the time, if I could find my happiness consistently, if I could get organized and put systems in place that worked at home, for my business, for my kids, then I could live my best life, support my family, and thrive as an adult. So here's what my affirmation came out to be, and I'm going to discuss this in detail in just a second. I wrote that night, I am committed to meditating 2 times a day, 7 days a week, so that I can find my center by August 15th. This was about like the middle of July, and I gave myself an August 15th due date, and I'll talk a little bit about that in just a minute here. I've been talking for a while. Does anybody have any questions? You want to unmute yourself and ask anything before I go into the details? No? Okay, I'll keep going then. Okay, so before I talk about exactly how Elrod steps and how I accomplished all of that in the middle of that one night, about 2.5 weeks ago, I went back to review my outcomes. I was about a month late from my affirmation goal, But I went to review those ideal outcomes for myself, and I was blown away to see that those first 3 outcomes were being addressed already. I had made huge progress in those top 3 areas already. And that's why I got so excited when Jen put out the call asking for somebody to lead tonight. I thought, I really want to talk about this, because I have gone from being goalless and feeling really scattered in so many areas of my life to starting to see this puzzle come together one step at a time, one day at a time, cumulatively, not all at once. And this is giving me tremendous confidence. It's giving me a real sense of inner calm, and I'm really excited to teach you how to do it. Okay, so Hal says, put what you want into writing, and then turn what you want into affirmations for every day. Because affirmations are what will move you forward. You utilize your daily affirmations to clearly commit to the activity that will generate your ideal outcome. If your ideal outcome, as we all know in this fitness journey, is to drop inches and lose a certain amount of weight, you have to be committed to those activities that are going to get you there. You have to be committed to portioning your food, to eating clean, to exercising, to drinking water, all these things. We all know that on the fitness level. So I'm starting to apply what worked for me with the fitness side of these programs and really apply it to my business. So the first thing to do is to figure out your ideal outcome so that then you can assign your daily affirmation to work towards it. Gang, for me, as I just mentioned, it's taken me a while to find that out, the ideal outcome. The 30-day push challenge by Shalene is a fantastic way to just kind of clear the clutter and get it written out if you need help with that. Also, don't freak out if your ideal outcomes don't all come at once. Give yourself a little time. And then if you happen to be up several hours in the middle of the night and have the opportunity to just sort of see everything through a clear screen in your mind, write it down. And then, you can review it later and make sure that it really does resonate with you. And take it one step further. Once you have your ideal outcomes, write that 90-day letter. That's an exercise he describes in that podcast. That's an exercise that he did during a workshop. Write yourself a 90-day letter. 90 days from now, I will be X. And fill that in. Or as I did, the Darren Daily eulogy statement exercise. What is it that you want said about you? And what are you doing today to work towards having that be the impression that you leave? And then write your affirmation after this. So here's the outline for the affirmations. He actually says in the podcast, if you go and listen, if you want to take notes on this, the part where he outlines how to write these affirmations, it comes in the 11-minute, 45-second portion of the podcast. So he says, write these words down. I am committed to blank. And in that blank underneath, you parenthesize activity, comma. So like I wrote, I am committed to meditating. And then the length and frequency. So I am committed to meditating 2 times a day. 7 days a week was actually also a part of my affirmation. I left that off this slide. 2 times a day, 7 days a week, so that I can blank. What's the outcome? And as I mentioned to you, my first ideal outcome on that list was to find my center, to get back to that place where I'm finding the positivity. I have positive thoughts in my mind, and that's what I see in the world. I was lacking that. So I was, just ready to go with that. And then I gave myself a due date. By this date, you have to have that target date. So August 15th is when I put it. I actually continued this a month after that because things were going so well, and I'm really glad I did. So I got scared though. And he says that on the podcast, if you get scared once you write down your affirmation, or if you get scared when you see your ideal outcomes on the page, he addresses this. He says, if there's fear in what your outcome is, support the affirmation with a positive statement. What would you tell a friend or anyone else, if they were afraid of following through on this thing that they could see for themselves? You would tell them, you would tell yourself, there's nothing to fear. If you do this activity, like for me, if you meditate twice a day, it will happen. It will come. Give yourself that positive support. Write it down so that you can see it. Now, once you have your outcomes, he says to articulate. So write them clearly, make sure that they make sense to you, share them with someone, clarify them. If there's any doubts or anything, expand a little bit more. The clarifying statement, I think, really comes from the daily affirmation. Commit to it. Just do it. Say you'll do it, get it done, and then recommit. And it's in this recommitting step that I realized a couple of months later, I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually happening to me. Here's what I mean by that. I'm going to come back to this slide over here. My top 3 ideal outcomes when I first outlined this were to find my center, to be happy, consistently happy, and enjoy getting organized. When I started doing this affirmation, it didn't take but a few weeks for me to feel much calmer. I started enjoying just relaxing into tricky situations. And at some point, a few weeks later, I got a book in the mail from Jen, The Big Leap. I joined with several of you in the chat group for The Big Leap. And then I also ended up getting The Big Leap for my PS coaches. And we started our own little Facebook group for it. And I had no idea that the basic premise for The Big Leap was this notion that you can be happy all the time. And actually, you should be happy all the time. And I struggled so much to even get past the introduction in the first chapter. Like, this doesn't seem really kind of like, If you've ever watched the Seinfeld episode, Serenity Now, Serenity Now, it took me a while, but the more that I read back through it, I found myself really committing to it. And then when I reviewed this a few weeks ago, I can't believe it. I am working towards being consistently happy. I never shared this outcome with Jen. I never shared this outcome with anybody. And yet here came this book to help me find consistent happiness. And then the other one was enjoy getting organized. I am the messiest OCD person that you'll ever meet. I have clutter everywhere. My office has stuff everywhere. My house has stuff everywhere. But deep down inside, I am a perfectionist. I love things to be just so. And so about 3 weeks ago, I opened up a free challenge group on Facebook to get rid of a bag of clutter a day. And those of you that are in that group or that have seen my posts about it, my bedroom is a haven now, because in the first week I got all the clutter out, one bag at a time, and I have kept up with it. I'm about 3 days into the 3rd week, so it's almost a habit now, and I'm really excited. Every single day I'm getting at least one little, Can you guys still see me and hear me? Can you guys still hear me and see me?
Yes, we can, Stella.
Okay, thank you. I got this little screen here. Okay, so things at home are cleaning up. I've moved on to my living room, and but when I know, Tara, you did too. I went to this list of outcomes, and there it is. I'm more positive. I'm back to finding my center. I am working towards being consistently happy. And that just came to me. And I am truly enjoying getting organized and having a blast letting other people share their pictures and motivating each other and motivating me. So it's happening, and I'm super excited about it. Okay, so this final slide here, these are the resources that I wanted to share with you. There are multiple editions of the Miracle Morning. There's a general Miracle Morning, which is what I started with. There's a Miracle Morning for network marketing, Miracle Morning for parents. I'm about a third of the way into that one. I'm enjoying it very much. Of course, Miracle Morning for real estate agents. There's all sorts of resources. If you have not yet experienced the Miracle Morning, I would highly recommend that you give it a try and work it into your own life as it helps you to feed and nourish yourself. This is the link to the podcast that has the interview that walks you step by step through how to write a daily affirmation. And here's the link to the Chalene Johnson 30-Day Push Goal Challenge, the Darren Daily sign up. If you've not, like Nicole said in the chat a little bit ago, if you've not signed up for Darren Daily, you should. It's 5 minutes of easy PD and will give you so much nourishment. And of course, the compound effect. If you've not experienced that yet, those action steps are fantastic. The Big Leap is a little bit of a tricky book to read. I highly recommend you read it with others so that you can share ideas back and forth. This is my new affirmation now. I've taken it from the 5th chapter of The Big Leap. I expand my abundance, success, and love every day so that I inspire those around me to do the same. And I'm hitting into some snags now that I've put this into my front and back of mind. My ego and the people around me are really noticing a shift in my energy since I've opened myself up to this expansion. So I'm having to really utilize my self-nurturing skills with this, and this is the beginning of the next step of my journey. By the way, just FYI, I am, by the end of this week, going to have a 90-day letter written to myself, and will continue to update my daily affirmations to move even further down the list of my ideal outcomes. To finish up, I wanted to just share this quote from my favorite mystic Persian poet, Rumi. Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I'm changing myself. I feel like at the beginning of this business, I just thought, oh my gosh, yeah, go. Oh, you're helping this person, you're helping this person. I was so just charged up. And I lost sight of that centering, grounding myself so that I can be really complete to help those around me. So I appreciate your time tonight and look forward to your questions and your feedback. That's all I have tonight. You guys, anybody have any questions?
I don't have a question, but I just want to say thank you. This was awesome. Like super good timing for me.
Good call, Stella.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.
You did great.
Thank you. This is a lot of fun, and I'm just getting a chance to see everybody on here. And somebody did grab a screenshot earlier. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you.
Not of everybody, though.
Oh, not of everybody. Well,
I don't know how to do that.
Well, we'll get it next time. I'm really grateful to you guys, and I will make the slides, my slides, available if you'd like, or just those links, whatever you'd like, just to holler at me. And thank you very much.
Stella,
Yeah,
Stella,
no.
I have to say something. Hi. Okay. I just want to say I'm super, super, super proud of you for stepping up and doing this call and showing your amazingness. And I've known Stella a while, and we both, just like everybody, have had our ups and downs in this business, personally, professionally. But we've always come back and we've learned something from each of those. And look, now you're leading a call on something that everybody can use more of. So I just wanted to say I'm super proud of you and thank you for sharing. And yeah, I think I'm just very proud of you.
That means a lot because Nicole, you were a guest presenter on the very first FitFam call that I attended.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
And your information that night really spoke to me a lot. And
and now you're doing it for somebody else.
thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks, you guys. Listen, have a kick butt week this week. Go get them. And if you haven't done that Core de Force, go check it out. It is a blast. Get excited about it. Okay? Be safe. Bye.